there.
Supporters from bolting to John McCain. Obama is expected to reap a superdelegate harvest this week. Sources tell CBS News most of the 17 still uncommitted superdelegates from the U.S. Senate are expected to endorse him shortly, along with at least a dozen House members.
Get your friends out to vote for me tomorrow.
But Clinton was in fighting form today in South Dakota.
I am now over 300,000 votes ahead in the popular vote, and I am slightly behind in delegates, but we're going to make our case to all of the delegates as to who would be the best president.
And yet Bill Clinton, while sounding proud to have campaigned for his wife, said this today.
This may be the last day I'm ever involved in a campaign of this kind.
The campaign said later he was talking about the primaries only, but there are other signs that the end may be near. There's word that the Clinton advance staff, which plans events, has been called to New York for a meeting tomorrow night, while others were offered the option of simply going home. No such rest in the offing for the Obama campaign. Tomorrow night he expects to address a huge rally in St. Paul, Minnesota. And get this, it's in the exact same arena where the Republicans will be holding their national convention in September. Katie?
All right, Dean Reynolds in Chicago tonight. Thank you. Jeff Greenfield is, of course, our senior political correspondent. And, Jeff, we keep hearing about the end game. So when will it begin?
Well, from Senator Clinton, what the Democratic Party really wants to know is not whether she will eventually stop campaigning, but how. Politicians have vivid memories about what happens when a defeated candidate doesn't fully embrace the victor. After Ronald Reagan narrowly lost the Republican nomination to President Ford in 1976, he offered a half-hearted endorsement of the Republican platform and candidates.
I thank you for the nomination you've offered me.
And the hard feelings between President Jimmy Carter and Senator Ted Kennedy during their protracted fight for the 1980 nomination never really healed. So a message from Clinton suggesting she had been treated unfairly or that she was the victim of bias is the last thing Democrats need.
We've heard rhetoric.
For his part, Obama needs to offer Clinton and her campaign a sense of inclusion. The obvious way to do that would be to ask her on the ticket, as John Kennedy did with Lyndon Johnson, as Ronald Reagan did with George H.W. Bush, as John Kerry did with John Edwards.
My mom loves you.
But there are real problems here, not the least of which is vetting the complex financial and charitable dealings of former President Bill Clinton.
Are we going to win this one?
After all, in 1984, after Walter Mondale picked Representative Geraldine Ferraro as his running mate, she faced a raft of questions about her husband's real estate business. But there are other steps Obama can take, bringing in members of Clinton's campaign staff, embracing some of her ideas on health care, her signature issue, helping to pay off her campaign debt. Now, why are Democrats so eager for the combat to end? Well, put it this way. I've tried to find a case where a deeply divided party won in November. I'm still looking.
Oh, well, that's the reason, obviously. And Hillary Clinton has put forth some arguments about why she's more electable. Why aren't more superdelegates buying into that?
You know, 40 years ago, they would have, but the political pros are so fixated on what I just mentioned that a contested convention is disaster in November, that as soon as Obama took the lead and pledged delegates, they all moved in his direction, or almost all.
All right, Jeff Greenfield. Jeff, thanks a lot. Now to the health of one of the leading Democrats in this country, Senator Edward Kennedy. Surgeons at Duke University Medical Center today removed as much of his cancerous brain tumor as they could. That will be followed by chemotherapy and radiation to try to shrink what's left of that tumor. Jeff Glore in Durham, North Carolina, has the very latest on the senator's condition.
Ted Kennedy, who walked out of a Massachusetts hospital 2 weeks ago with a grim diagnosis, today emerged from a 3.5-hour surgery telling his wife, "I feel like $1 million." His doctor at Duke University, Alan Friedman, says Kennedy was awake during the entire procedure to treat a malignant glioma in the top left portion of his brain. The doctor said surgery was successful and accomplished our goals.
How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing well.
Kennedy, who pushed to leave his Boston hospital early, even when sailing the same day he was released, has shown no sign he's giving in. The 76-year-old senator from Massachusetts, whose career in the Senate has been largely defined by health care legislation, thoroughly researched his options, according to friends, before deciding on Duke, where 2/3 of the brain tumor patients participate in clinical trials. The team that included Kennedy's Dr. Friedman was profiled by CBS News and 60 Minutes 6 years ago for their aggressive work in neuroscience.
The majority of the patients that I see, when we sit down with them and we give them the motto that we stand by, which is at Duke there is hope.
In a statement released today, Kennedy said, "I look forward to returning to the United States Senate." And on the Senate floor, his colleagues hope for the same.
I think we should just take 10 seconds to just think about the Kennedy family and pray for them.
Many of Kennedy's relatives will stay with him until he's released. When he is, it's back to Boston for that radiation and chemotherapy. Katie?
All right, Jeff Clora. Thank you, Jeff. CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta is a CBS News contributor and a brain surgeon as well. Sanjay, I know Senator Kennedy was awake for this surgery. That's fairly standard, and it's really important for the doctors who are performing it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This gives you a lot of information, Katie. What they do is he's awake, but his head is immobilized by skull pins. What they're trying to figure out is, can he do certain things during the operation? Squeeze a hand, lift an arm. Katie, let me show you this image here. Take a look at this brain. We'll go ahead and spin that around. I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. If you take away some of the brain tissue, just focus in on this area over here. Go ahead and flash that red. That's the parietal lobe. Very important area. That's where the tumor is located. Here's where the motor area is, and here's where the speech area is. They are so close together, Katie, and that's the issue. If he can talk, if he can understand, if he can move during the surgery, that means that the operation is going as planned, and important areas of the brain haven't been affected by the operation.
And they'll be doing the surgery, Sanjay, and asking him to speak and move at the same time?
Yeah, it's really remarkable, actually. As a neurosurgeon, I find this still amazing when I hear about it and read about it. They actually carrying on casual conversation with him. Consider this, Katie. That organ, the brain, which innervates the whole rest of your body, hardly has any innervation of itself. So it doesn't hurt. It's just this sort of uncomfortable, awkward sort of thing. But he can talk, he can carry on a conversation, identify flashcards, move his arm. All important feedback for the surgeons.
All right. Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Gupta, thank you very much. Now moving to West Texas, where today hundreds of children seized from a polygamous compound were returned to their parents. The Texas Supreme Court ruled last week that the state had no right to take the children. What's still not clear, though, is whether any of them were abused. Hari Srinivasan has the latest.
By mid-morning, photos of tearful reunions emerged from across Texas. Mothers and fathers reuniting with their children 2 months after the kids were taken away from the Yearning for Zion polygamist ranch in El Dorado, Texas. Today, the children began leaving group foster homes spread across the state. The very judge who ordered they be sent away today ordered their return. The church made its own promise.
The church commits that it will not preside over any marriage of any woman under the age of legal consent.
The release comes with restrictions. Child Protective Services must have pictures of the parents taking children home, contact information for every child, and know every person living with that child. Children aren't allowed to leave Texas, move homes, or travel more than 100 miles without permission from the department. Child welfare workers can make unannounced home visits on any day. Meanwhile, the investigation into sexual abuse continues.
I still feel very strongly about our case, and I feel very strongly about the safety and concerns that we have regarding these children, and that's why our investigation will continue.
Some of the families aren't planning on returning to the ranch anytime soon. They say through their lawyers, until this is all settled, they don't want to risk losing their children again. Katie?
Hari Srinivasan reporting tonight. Thank you, Hari. Meanwhile, there is much more CBS ahead this Monday evening, including the death of a rock and roll legend. But up next, people who never dreamed they'd be in a food line suddenly are.
My name is Jane, and I've got osteoporosis, but I'm an on-the-go woman. I've been active all my life. That's why I'm excited about Reclast, the osteoporosis treatment my doctor gives me once a year. My doctor says 1 IV of Reclast can help protect me while I'm on the go for 12 months. How? Well, Reclast helps to re-strengthen my bones to help make them resistant to fracture. And with Reclast, well, no other osteoporosis treatment is approved to help protect in more places. Hip, spine, even other bones.
You should not take Reclast if you're on Zometa, have low blood calcium, kidney problems, or you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or nursing. Take calcium and vitamin D daily. Tell your doctor if you develop severe muscle, bone, or joint pain, or if you have dental problems, as rarely job problems have been reported. The most common side effects include flu-like symptoms, fever, muscle or joint pain, and headache.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Reclast. Year-long protection for on-the-go women.
Well, how y'all doing?
Is that a rib there on your plate? Under the finest sauce I ever ate. I need one right now and don't make me wait. Mister, can you please spare a rib? There's just one sauce I want on my bed. Oh, mister, can you please spare a rib?
Casing Masterpiece, the sauce that inspires. Go to casingmasterpiece.com for a chance to meet Tim McGraw in an upcoming concert.
We'd like a new home, but we need to get out from under this one first.
Ready to sell? It's time for RE/MAX. RE/MAX agents have the experience to get the job done in today's market. So when you're ready to sell, or buy, or both, why settle for anyone else? Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
It's the 5-minute challenge. Trigger spray versus new Roundup Pump and Go sprayer. Whose hand will hold up? 1 minute in, trigger spray starting to cramp. But look at Pump and Go with up to 5 minutes of continuous spray. There's no hand fatigue, no stopping. Weeds don't stand a chance. Wait! Trigger spray's on the ropes. Oh, he throws in the towel. New Roundup Pump and Go. Hard on weeds, easy on you.
The economy is having a major impact on life's most basic necessities. Almost all food banks surveyed report demand is growing, and 4 out of 5 say they can't handle it. Seth Doan reports how tough times are hitting home in our series, The Other America.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Snapshots of suffering in a small southern town.
There are days that you don't
that
have
we
a meal
don't
at all.
eat. Yeah.
Reveal a daily struggle for survival.
Why is it getting more difficult?
Gas prices, milk is just as much as gas these days. That's really hard. I'm sorry.
Most of these people never imagined they'd wind up here, waiting in a food line.
I think the best thing people can do is stand back and pray. Pray for better times.
Pray and pitch in. People come from all over the county. The ones who don't need help volunteer to help those who do.
When they hug you and say, I had 1 can of corn in my cabinet for the rest of the month, you go to bed that night thinking, oh, thank you, Lord, I was able to help that family.
This mobile pantry and the others they've had here in Dover, Tennessee, was made possible by Second Harvest, which loaded up about 10,000 pounds of food 90 miles away in Nashville. For the organizer, getting the word out proves to be its own challenge.
There's probably been like 40 people had their phones disconnected since the last time.
Why?
I think they're giving up their phones for food and gas.
One local factory moved to Mexico. Another just canceled a shift. And the number of families signing up for food here has almost doubled since last October. In line, Georgia Bumpus. She started cleaning houses when she couldn't find an office job. But she's become a luxury.
As the economy has gotten worse, I've lost 2 of those houses as well. Because those people are like, well, you know, can we afford to have a housekeeper when we might, you know, need that money for gas or for groceries ourselves?
Stephanie Smith had to leave her minimum wage job because her salary didn't cover the cost of her commute and childcare.
And this is hard to have your kids watch your parents go through this. Mommy, go pay them. Here, I'll put your apples in here for you.
The lucky ones on this side of the table know there's not much separating them from the other side.
The scary thing is that it could be you. We find so much more that folks who said, I never thought this would be me, I never thought I'd need food, are needing help.
Did you ever think you'd be standing in a line like this?
No. And it's humbling. It's humbling.
Humbling or not, there won't be a line to stand in much longer. The state money that funded this program runs out later this month and hasn't been renewed. Seth Doan, CBS News, Dover, Tennessee.
In Los Angeles tonight, investigators say that spectacular fire at Universal Studios was started accidentally by tools workers were using. The fire yesterday began on a streetscape featuring New York brownstone facades and destroyed a number of famous sets, including the Courthouse Square from Back to the Future. It also wiped out the King Kong attraction and a film and video warehouse, though Universal says it has backup copies of all the films and TV shows. It took firefighters 12 hours to put the fire out. Coming up next, why mass transit has mass appeal. Gas prices like this.
There were days my muscles were so sore from my fibromyalgia pain, I ached all over. It was hard just doing the little things that I loved. Then my doctor told me about prescription Lyrica. It's not an antidepressant. It's the first and only FDA-approved treatment that can help relieve my fibromyalgia pain. Lyrica helps me accomplish my daily activities and helps me feel better. So now I can start to think of something other than my pain. Lyrica's not for everyone. Tell your doctor right away about any serious allergic reaction that causes swelling or affects breathing or skin or changes in eyesight, including blurry vision or muscle pain with fever or tired feeling. Some of the most common side effects of Lyrica are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands and feet. Do not drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. You should not drive or operate machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. If you have fibromyalgia, ask your doctor if Lyrica's right for you.
Well, are you going to pick it or not? It's not ready yet.
Tim and Richard Smucker grew up learning that you have to pick fruit at the peak of perfection if you want jam to taste extra delicious.
It's getting close.
For 5 generations, with a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
It seems so exceptional that things just work out after all. It's just another ordinary miracle today.
You give your time to others. CVS pharmacists do the same for you, with answers and advice about prescriptions and over-the-counter medications. And with 6,300 stores nationwide, many open 24 hours. We're always there when you need us. CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care.
Moderate, independent, bipartisan. That's Gordon Smith, working with Republicans and Democrats for stem cell research, health care for working families, renewable energy, and a cleaner environment. The Oregonian says Smith stands for beliefs on middle ground. The News Review, a tradition of independence, and the National Journal ranks Smith at the center of the Senate.
I'm Gordon Smith, and I approve working together across party lines. And this ad.
Well, we're moving ever closer to $4 gas. AAA says the national average tonight is a record $3.98 a gallon. It's cheapest in South Carolina, most expensive in Connecticut and Alaska. High gas prices are driving Americans to mass transit. A new report says ridership in the first quarter of the year was up 3%. Here's Nancy Cordes.
In bustling Atlanta, transit authorities boosted their MARTA bus routes by 40% this year. But it wasn't enough. Ridership is up 60%.
I have access to a car, but I'm still choosing to pick MARTA versus driving a car.
According to a new national report, record numbers of Americans are getting out of their cars and onto mass transit. Light rail or streetcar ridership is up about 16% this year in Minneapolis and in St. Louis, almost 17% in Baltimore. Commuter rail from the suburbs into cities has seen an even bigger jump. Nearly 28% more riders in Seattle. In Oakland, nearly 16%. In nearby Stockton, nearly 14%. On the Virginia Railway Express, each train is carrying 1,600 more people than last year.
Too much to be able to think nowadays.
But even as ridership surges, some systems are putting on the brakes. slashing routes and putting off expansions to save on rising fuel costs. A recent survey found a fifth of rail operators are cutting service. Nearly 70% have raised fares. Virginia Miller is with the American Public Transportation Association, which conducted the survey.
Just like gas prices affect a family's household budget, so do fuel costs affect a public transportation system's budget.
Which means that after years of being encouraged to take mass transit, many riders are finding all the seats are taken. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Washington.
In Iraq, a sign perhaps that violence is decreasing. In the lowest U.S. monthly death toll since the war began, 19 Americans were killed in May. The total U.S. death toll for the war is now 4,086. That number includes a soldier who today was awarded the nation's highest military honor for sacrificing his own life to save his comrades. From the time he was in kindergarten, Ross McGinnis wanted to be an Army man. And in December 2006, the 19-year-old Pennsylvania native was in the gunner's hatch of a Humvee patrolling Baghdad when a grenade was thrown into the vehicle. Private McGinnis could have jumped out and saved himself, but instead he jumped on top of the grenade and saved his 4 comrades who couldn't get out.
I still ponder every day how you can make a decision that quick.
He did the right thing at the right time.
Today, President Bush presented the Medal of Honor to Private Ross McGinnis's parents.
Ross did what he did for his buddies.
If it wasn't for him, I would be dead. I wouldn't be married right now. I wouldn't have a life of my own.
Tired of another sleepless night? Ambient CR is offering the 7-night invite. Call or visit 7freecr.com for your free 7-night trial offer of the only sleep aid with 2 layers to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. Until you know how Ambient CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active again. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with amnesia for the event have been reported. In rare cases, sleep aids may cause severe allergic reactions, such as swelling of your tongue or throat or shortness of breath. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. However, like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. Get your free Ambient CR 7-night trial offer now. Just call or visit 7freecr.com.
Glad Force Flex trash bags are so strong. One bag is all you need to pick up the pieces from even your biggest disasters.
Where do you want the piano?
For stretchable strength, get Glad Force Flex.
If you have trouble sleeping, Lunesta can give you a great night. 7 to 8 restful hours of sleep. But did you know that a Lunesta night can help give you a great morning? A morning refreshed, recharged. You might even wake so rested, you'll find a way to make the day special.
Class, today we're going to make some music.
Lunesta helps you fall asleep quickly, so take it right before bed. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Call your doctor right away if after taking Lunesta you walk, drive, eat, or engage in other activities while asleep. In rare cases, severe allergic reactions can occur. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness.
1, 2.
Why wait another night? Ask your doctor how a Lunesta night's sleep can help you wake this refreshed. Lunesta, a great tomorrow starts tonight.
You don't want it, but neither does anyone else. Gas prices create financial nightmares for SUV owners that go way beyond the pump. We'll show you at 11.
Finally tonight, we remember 2 artists who sparked some of the revolutionary changes of the 20th century. French designer Yves Saint Laurent changed the way millions of women dress. He made pants okay to wear anywhere and changed the whole concept of fashion from fancy clothes for a few to casual, creative dress for everyone. Yves Saint Laurent died yesterday in Paris. He was 71. Meanwhile, here at home, rock and roll legend Bo Diddley died today in Florida. He was 79. Bo Diddley never got rich from rock and roll, but as Anthony Mason reports, he laid down the beat for generations of artists to come.
He called himself the originator.
Man.
And said he was the man who started it all.
Hoochie coochie man. If you ain't never been had by Bo Diddley, you gonna get got.
Bo Diddley first cracked the charts in 1955 with a song brazenly named after himself. He performed it on the Ed Sullivan Show that year. The host had wanted him to sing a different number and banned him after he played Bo Diddley instead.
I mean, he really was pretty brilliant at just saying, I'm the coolest guy in town.
The man.
Born Ellis Otha Bates in Macomb, Mississippi, Bo Diddley picked up his nickname growing up in Chicago.
When I was a youngster, I used to come down here, me and Muddy Waters, and we all be wrestling for the corners to play on, you know.
His signature sound became known as the Bo Diddley beat.
The Bo Diddley beat is...
While Diddley didn't score many chart hits, his influence spread to The Who, the Rolling Stones, and Springsteen.
You know, that beat, that sound, that kind of use of the electric guitar was ahead of its time.
He made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987.
When you call yourself a rock and roll, show me something.
Well into his 70s, he was still showing us that the Bo Diddley beat goes on. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
And that is the CBS Evening News. I'm Katie Couric. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.